Seeds are not the only way that plants can produce new plants. There's another way. It's called vegetative propagation. It happens in nature and it can be done by us too. I'm going to show you leaf cuttings now. Firstly, this is a Streptocarpus plant. Here you can see some nice good leaves, not like these ones here that are a bit tatty. So we're going to take one of these good leaves, it's healthy and it's strong, and we're going to slice it off at the base. Now, the first thing to do when we get it onto the board is cut out this central midrib. I can expose the edges, sharp, clean edges of the lateral veins, and this is where the new shoots and roots will appear from. We're going to take our compost to make 2 trenches, very simple, and then cut side down, gently firm it in, and over time, probably about 2 weeks, we will have a lot of new plants. I imagine probably about 16 new plants from one leaf, and they'll all look exactly the same as our original plant. Another great way of producing lots of new plants from a small amount of material are stem cuttings. Today we're going to use some rosemary. Okay, I've got 3 pieces here, and each one will become an individual plant. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that each of the plants are pretty much the same as the others in terms of when we start out. So first things I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them to the same length, and that's going to be a little bit longer than a grown-up's big finger. The next thing we're going to do is strip off some of the leaves. Not all of them, but some of them. There's 2 reasons for this. One, we're going to be exposing some of the stem nodes so that this is where the new roots will appear from. And secondly, it means that the plant can concentrate on actually producing the new roots, which is what we want. Now, for the same reason, we are also going to be taking out the growing tips at the top, because we don't really want it to concentrate on growing taller, we want those new roots. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure that the little nodes at the edge are exposed, or as exposed as they need to be. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to use some hormone rooting powder. Now this is a special little powder that will give the plants a little extra oomph to produce the roots that we want them to. So just gentle dip in. We use our pot with compost. Then we're going to put 3 holes in, quite near the edge and well spaced. That way ensures that these will get, we gently firm these in. Okay, now these are going to take a bit longer than the leaf cuttings to produce roots, but they will, and they will be new plants. There we have it. In nature, there's a type of plant that produces its own children without resorting to seed, bulbs. Now, here I've got narcissus or daffodil to you and me. As you can see, it's got 2 parts. This looks as though it's perhaps been split down the middle. It hasn't. This is the adult or the parent bulb, and this is the daughter bulb or bulblet. Now what happens is that this, generally they can stay the same and they will carry on growing, but they have to share the resources in the soil. So what we would like to do is we split them up like so, and then plant them separately. Now this will then probably produce yet another daughter in maybe next year or the year after, and this will grow bigger and stronger until it can produce its own daughter or bulblet. So now there's another type of bulb that we all see a lot of, which is garlic, and this is a perfect example to show you how you can really propagate a lot from one bulb. See, a garlic bulb, it's made up of lots of different cloves. We've got, I don't know how many cloves in here, but a lot. All we need to do is break it apart. Okay, and as you can see, 3 here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them in a pot, which will create 3 new garlic bulbs over 1 growing season. So, firstly, 1 dibber. Now, when you're planting bulbs, it's very simple, 2 simple rules. Always plant them the right way up. Now, that was the bottom stem top, so we know which way that was, and it's the same one here. We can see that was the bottom of the clove. And the other thing to remember is that the larger the bulb, the deeper you should plant it. There, pretty simple. So there you have it, 3 ways of producing new plants without any seed.